everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Shannon, and I thought I would sit outside and chat with you for a minute. I think it's about the second week of October, and I'm still going strong on trying to get the freezer cleaned out to make room for a couple of turkeys, one for Thanksgiving and one for whenever. I hope they'll be on sale this year. We'll see. The other thing is I also am still doing really well with trying to get my grocery budget cut in half. I don't even think I'm going to go to the grocery store this week. If I need a couple of things, I'll film it, see if it's anything worth sharing. I don't know. Sunday we did do takeout wings. I did not get any video of that. However, the leftover wings do make an appearance a little bit later in the video on our leftover night. I wanted to tell you a little bit about my stuffed shells. I make these up in a big batch, and I will do some stuffed shells that are just cheese, and then I will add some hamburger and make hamburger and cheese stuffed shells. Then I lay them out on a cookie sheet and I freeze them. Then I transfer them into a Ziploc bag, and then I keep them in the freezer. And when we want to make stuffed shells that night, I just pull the frozen shells out of the freezer. I put them in a baking dish that I've added a little bit of spaghetti sauce on the bottom of the baking dish. Put the shells in. Sometimes we put frozen meatballs in there with them. On this night, we did put frozen meatballs in there. You don't need to. And then you put a little bit more sauce on top. I covered that with aluminum foil, and I bake it in the oven until the shells are basically hot, like the stuffing in the shells is hot. And then I pull that out. Oh, now my dogs are going to go crazy. I pull that out, take the aluminum foil off of the pan. I sprinkle some mozzarella cheese on it, pop it back in the oven until the cheese is melted, and then dinner is done. And on this night, I also did a salad and some cheesy garlic bread. So here's that video. This is what those stuffed shells look like that I just described. The meatballs and the pasta sauce. I love that pasta sauce. This is what it looks like going into the oven, and I'll show you what it looks like in a minute coming out of the oven. There's the salad. This is what it looks like when it's all done and hot and bubbly and cheesy and yummy. That is the cheesy garlic bread. So good. On Tuesday night, we did tacos. So there's the taco meat, the taco shells, the fixins, the shredded lettuce, the shredded cheese, a little bit of sour cream, some guacamole. We had some black olives and a little bit of leftover salsa. Okay, so I wanted to pop in here real quick and tell you about the unstuffed pepper casserole. Now, I'm not saying I invented the idea because clearly I didn't. But I've been making unstuffed pepper casserole since before the internet was even a thing. So there was no Pinterest, there was no YouTube, there was no Facebook, there was no inspiration. Like we called it getting out a recipe book and going through the recipe book. Anyway, I would make stuffed peppers, stuffed green peppers, and we enjoyed the stuffing way more than we enjoyed that big hunk of pepper. So, and we always had leftover stuffing. So one day, about a million years ago, I decided, hey, what if we don't stuff the peppers? What if we just chop up a little bit of green pepper and put it in the hamburger mixture? And that way you get that pepper flavor, but you don't have that big hunk of green pepper. We didn't care for that. And just cook it up in a casserole dish and be done with it. So this video goes by kind of quick, but basically it's just some hamburger meat, an onion, and a green pepper, and I brown that up in a skillet with some seasonings, garlic, salt, and pepper. Seasoning salt would be really good. Then I put in just some cooked rice, and I mix that up, and it's more about a proportion than a measurement. So I kind of like to make it look like there's, I don't know, equal amounts of rice and hamburger, or a little bit more hamburger than rice. And if you're trying to stretch it, you could do a little bit more rice than hamburger. But then I mix that all up. I add some tomato sauce in there, And if I have extra tomato sauce, I'll just spread it, which I did on this night. I'll just spread it on top to make like a layer of tomato sauce. And then I put some cheese on it, and whatever cheese you like. We had a little bit of mozzarella left, and then I put some cheddar cheese on there. But whatever kind of cheese y'all like, you could put on top. I bet you'd be really good with pepper jack cheese. Anyway, and you bake that in the oven until the cheese is all melty. This is how that unstuffed pepper casserole looks. That's the hamburger, the green pepper, and the onion. I cook that up with a little garlic, salt, and pepper, make it taste good. That's what it looks like when it's done browning. I added some rice and mixed that up. And this is what I'm talking about. It's more of a proportion. This is what I like it to look like. I added the tomato sauce. I mixed that all up. And then this was a large can of tomato sauce, so I just put the rest on top and smoothed that all out, and then added a little bit of mozzarella cheese. We didn't have very much left in the bag, so I added some cheddar cheese on top, and it was delicious. This is what it all looks like when it's cooked up and it's all hot and bubbly and yummy. On Thursday night, we had ranch roast or Mississippi pot roast. That's always a crowd pleaser. I made some mashed potatoes and some buttered egg noodles for my son, and I also cooked up a little bit of broccoli for myself. Friday night was leftover night. There's the leftover wings, leftover Mississippi roast, leftover stuffed shells, leftover unstuffed pepper casserole, some cucumbers, some broccoli. It was good. That's Saturday night, and those are cheesesteaks. I also made some cauliflower and kale. So I came back inside. The deer are coming out, and they're driving my dogs crazy. Anyway, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me for a little bit. I'll see you next time. Bye.